Hello good day viewers. In this tutorial we are going to find a solution to these two trigonometric equations. The first equation is sine of 4x equal to 0 while the second one is cosine of 3x equal to -1, and we are asked to find the values of x from 0 to 360 degrees. And I'm going to present you a very simple way to do that. Let's start with the first one, which is sine of 4x equal to 0. We have the sine of 4x equal to 0. If I were you, I will draw a unit cycle. If this is a unit cycle, we have y-axis and the x-axis. Let's write all the coordinates. This first coordinate is 1, 0, right? And this is what? 0, 1. And here we have -1, 0. And lastly, we have 0, -1. All right. You should know that sine depends on what? Y-axis. So these coordinates are for y. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which one of these is equivalent to 0? We have two angles, right? 0 degrees and 180 degrees. But observe, from 0, if you add 180, because this is a diameter, half of a cycle, you know the total angle on a cycle is 360. Once you add half, which is 180, from 0, it will take you to this. Add another 180, it will take you back to this. Add another 180, add another 180. Before you know, you have been adding multiples of what? 180 degrees. This implies that this particular 4x is nothing but multiples of what? 180 degrees. So we have sine of 4x to be equal to 0. It implies that according to our unit cycle, that 4x is equal to 180 degrees times n, for which this n is an integer. So to find x, we can divide both sides by 4, and hence x is equal to 180 divided by 4 times n. And 180 divided by 4 is equal to 45, and hence x is equal to 45 degrees n. All right, remember the condition given to us. We're asked to find the solution from 0 to 360 degrees. So we are all looking for positive values of x. So let's substitute for n equal to 0. When n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, and so on. We're going to keep on substituting these values until we get to a value which is less than or equal to 360, because we don't want to go beyond 360. All right. If n is equal to 0, we have x to be equal to 45 degrees times 0, which means that x is what? Equal to 0. So x can be equal to 0. Then we move here. Then when n is equal to 1, we have x to be equal to 45 degrees times 1, and hence x is equal to 45. We move on. When n is equal to 2, we have x to be equal to 45 degrees multiplied by 2, right? And this is equal to 90 degrees. We move on. We stop at when n is equal to 2. Let's substitute when n is equal to 3. When n is equal to 3, we have x equal to 45 degrees times 3. This implies that x is equal to 135 degrees. When n is equal to 4, we have 45 degrees multiplied by 4. X will be equal to what? 45 times 4 is 180 degrees. We move on to when n is equal to 5. We have x equal to 45 degrees multiplied by 5. And this is equal to 225. We move on. When n equal to 6, we have x equal to 45 degrees multiplied by 6. And x will be equal to 270 degrees. We move on to when n is equal to 7. We have x equal to 45 degrees multiplied by 7. and this is equal to what? 315. This is the value of x. Then when n is equal to 8, we have x to be equal to 45 degrees multiplied by 8, and x is equal to 360 degrees. And since we have 360 degrees, we cannot substitute the value of n equal to 9 because it will go greater than that. So if we stop here, we count the number of solutions, we have 9 of them. X could be 0, 45, 90, 135, 180, 225, 270, 315, and 360. So this particular equation has 9 solutions from 0 to 360 degrees. Another way you can do that, you can use identity, right? Because I know that sine of 4x is the same thing as sine of 2x multiplied by cosine of 2x. Then you also expand them. They are double angles identities, but it will take you longer time than necessary. Now let us take the second equation. We have cosine of 3x equal to -1. We have cosine of 3x equal to -1. Let me draw a unit cycle again. This is a unit cycle. Let's write the coordinates. We have 1, 0. We have 0, 1. We have -1, 0. And lastly, we have 0, -1. The first coordinate is for x. And you should know that cosine depends on what? X-axis. Therefore, it is only one place we have x to be equal to -1, which is here at angle 180. This implies that this 3x is equal to what? 180. But you should know that once you add 360, which is a complete cycle, you're going to come back to where you started. Keep on adding 360, you will form as many solutions as possible. This means that 3x must be equal to 180 degrees plus multiples of 360 degrees n, for which I told you n is an integer. At 180 degrees, you will have cosine to be -1. And if you add another 360 degrees, you're going to obtain another solution. Keep on adding 360. This is why we have multiples of 360 degrees. Then we divide both sides by 3. X will be equal to 180 divided by 3 plus 360 and divide by 3. X will be equal to 60 degrees plus 120 n, 120 degrees n. So we are going to substitute the values of n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that other till we get to a value which is less than or equal to 360, because we don't want to go beyond that. So when n equal to 0, you can clearly see that x must be equal to 60 degrees because the whole of this will be equal to 0. Then when n is equal to 1, we have x to be equal to 60 degrees plus 120 degrees times 1. 120 degrees times 1 is still 120 degrees plus 60 is 180. So x here is equal to 180 degrees. Then we substitute n equal to 2. That is when n equal to 2, we have x to be equal to 60 degrees plus 120 degrees times 2. 120 degrees times 2 is 240 degrees plus 60 degrees equal to x. And if you add these two together, you have 300 degrees. We don't even have to substitute for n equal to 3 because it will go beyond 360. And hence we have 3 solutions here. X could be 60, 180, or 300 degrees. And this is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.